Hello friends, welcome to FoxuTech. So today we're gonna see another topic from the ArgoCD. So far we have seen most of the topic on ArgoCD related to the application and projects and also the CLI, right? So now we're gonna see another one of the key important topic, sync policy and options. So sync is like another important thing. So when we say like any application we are adding, that should have certain options to sync, right? So when you see about the tracking strategies, so in last video, so we have seen what are the way we can track our Git repositories, but it's not like every application should have, or we may allow to follow the same sync policies, right? So our tracking strategies, some case we need to have some exceptions, or some other way we have to improve it, or some other way we have to have a better restrictions to avoid any kind of a manual interactions, or some kind of a restriction to keep it our resource stable, right? So in this video we're going to see how we can achieve that and what are the action we can use and how to use it. So we're going to see one by one with our available options. Along with that also we're going to see about, we will demonstrate the options and we'll see that how it will be look like, right? So let's jump into that. So let's start with the first option called automatic sync. So what is meant by automatic sync? So automatic sync is nothing but, so whenever you are adding any kind of application, and there will be a two option you will get it. So one is how you want to sync your application, manual or automatic, right? So mostly productions we don't prepare to have automated way. So why? Because there is some limitation, but mostly we will enable with automatic. But some case if you have a better GitOps strategies, so that case you can enable these automated options, right? Manual is nothing but like until you do the any kind of a sync, there is nothing will happen on the ArgoCD, right? That is not very pretty much we're gonna see, but we'll see that how automated options will, we can make it better, right? So in this video mostly it will be related to automatic, and part of that what are the sync option is available, right? So let's see the first automated one. So when you say automatic, nothing but, so if you add any kind of application, so once you add it, it will be comes with a default automate. It will be automatically syncs if you enabled the automatic options. How it will be advantage, or there is any restrictions or limitation? Yes. Advantage, if you given the path like a selected path in the Git or helm repo, whenever there is a change, immediately ArgoCD will detect and it will apply the changes, right? So you no need to go to ArgoCD and manually sync, or you no need to do any kind of extra work. The process, complete process will be completely automated. Okay, so that happens every 3 minutes. So by default, ArgoCD automatic syncs perform every 3 minutes, and it check any new change available on the repository. It detects that and it perform the sync, right? So next thing, so another thing like it will be, it's not doesn't mean like every 3 minutes it runs. It will be just check is there any resource is updated or not. If there is no change, there is no sync will happen. If there is any sync, immediately the application will be synced. So that means it's nothing but you have made any changes and you want to improvise this like out of sync. If there is anything is out of sync, immediately ArgoCD deploys that, right? So this is the advantage on the ArgoCD with the automatic sync, right? But same time there is again certain limitations, so that we should understand. So one is, if there is any failure happen for the particular commit value or commit SHA, so this won't be retried. So in case if you noticed or if you got alerted with any failure, you should go and rerun the resync the thing, or you have to check the error and you should reach you should sync the application again, right? So one way this is advantage, other way that may be against, so we have to work manually, but that is not pretty much. But I can say like this will be still in the advantage set. But there is another issue. So rollback cannot be performed if you enable with automatic sync. Why? Because there is no rollback or history will be captured. So how this will be disadvantage in case you have deployed some version and that is not working. Unfortunately, you have to roll back your version. So you have to do it manually only. You can't do it via ArgoCD, right? So this you should aware of it. So this is the thing here, right? So how the automatic sync can be done? So it's available on all three options. One is nothing but you can do it via sync policies in the declarative way. So you have to call like this sync policy and automated options. When you declare like this means nothing but your automatic sync is enabled for the particular application. Okay. So next available option, sorry for the heading, this should be automated only, not pruning. So next is like even you can auto sync enabled via the -auto sync in the CLI option, or you can do it either in the UA based also. Okay, we're gonna see that one by one, but let me just complete this one by one. So automated pruning is the next option. So when you say automatic, so whenever you do any kind of a sync, so it will just perform a sync. It doesn't do any other extra activities. What I mean here, extra activities, let's say like you are deploying a certain application, or you are deployed some application and you have removed from your JIT. Automatically that should be removed even from your cluster, right? But that won't happen when you just enable automatic sync, right? So for that you may need some additional options, and also there is, let's say like you are scaled your deployment to 10 spots when there is certain high load expected, and you are and then you scaled out to 5 pods, right? So like that scaling scale out maybe happen. So when there is a scale out is happening, so the resource won't be deleted from the cluster. It will be just lying on your cluster. So that may have some impact. Your performance may degraded, or there is something maybe cause, right? We have seen multiple videos about it, how those kind of things will be happen. So how we can make it sure this will be fixed? So by default, as I said, whenever you are making any change on the JIT, and it won't be prone any kind of a resource on the CD deployed, right? So you can enable this pruning option. So that will be deleting the resources automatically. So with that, what you can say, so whenever there is some redundant data, redundant resources are available, those also will be removed from the instance, right? So how you can do that? Again, you can do it via declarative way. So declarative way, you have to just with automated, you can say prune true, right? When you say prune true, that means you are pruning your resources. Whenever there is deleted in the repository, it will be automatically removed from the ArgoCD also, right? So that is one way. And second thing, we know about ArgoCD can be deployed even via CLI. We have already seen the option separately. So whenever you are creating, so you can give the option called auto prune. So when you give that, even with that, your auto prune will be enabled, and any change you make, that will be deleted. Next, so even you can do this via UI based solution also. So next is demo section. I'm not going to cover now, but we're gonna see another one more feature. With that, we're gonna see both together, right? So next option is automatic self healing. What is automatic self healing? So let's assume like you are managing a multiple cluster and you have deployed application via ArgoCD, and unexpectedly one of your as we are following GitOps, maybe one of your team member or someone who is not familiar with this GitOps, and we have made the changes manually and directly to the cluster, like a Kubernetes or OpenShift. He made a changes by native, like a manually. So what kind of changes? Let's say like he has scaled the deployment. he has scaled the deployment from 5 to 10 or 5 to 100 or something. He made a changes manually, right? But that is not expected. When what happens when you do that? So immediately your ArgoCD instance will show your application is in out of sync. Let's assume you have enabled some alerting option, which will be says your application is out of sync and it automatically triggers a lot of alerts and immediately you have to take some actions, right? That kind of things if you want to avoid, so what you can do, so you can enable this self-healing. So what is this does? Whatever the changes you are making on the CLI event live cluster, and that won't be tracked by default by ArgoCD, then immediately your application will say like out of sync. But when you enable this self-healing feature, even if your team member is creating 1,000 parts scale to 1,000, this will check the desired state from your GitHub repository. If you say there should be only 3 parts, and if there is 1,000 parts, it will just delete whatever the extra parts and it will make sure only desired part state will be maintained across the cluster event. So one way we are maintaining everything in a JIT, so we are avoiding any such changes on the manual changes on the cluster, right? So how you can do that? Again, it can be done via self-healing. Again, it can be done via declarative way. So you have to say automated self-heal true, right? And also you can do via CLI. You can say -- self-heal, and that will enable the self-heal option. Next, even in the UA, we can do that. Okay, so let's demonstrate both. Let's deploy application without self-heal and let's do some changes and scale the deployment and see, and then enable the self-heal and see what happens quickly. So same way like auto pruning. So in the demo section, so let's see that options I like. Deploy application without self-heal. No, it should be prune. Okay. Sorry, here. So deploy application without auto pruning, check the resource via the kubectl and delete the services or deployment in the JIT and see what is happens, and then enable it and see that. Okay, so let's jump into that. So for that, let's log into first my ArgoCD instance. This is my ArgoCD instance. So let's say like there is no application or nothing has been created so far. So let me quickly log into my instance. So with that, we can demonstrate the features. So let's me log into that. Okay, so let's change the settings to make sure you can view this content very well. Apply and so this is my cluster and I have already have files in my repo. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to go for ArgoCD, then sync and options. I have pushed this renders in all my repository already. I'll be adding to this. Let me add it to the description also. You can refer it. Okay, so let me open the application first. So as we see in 3 scenarios, one is automated and self-heal and prune. So first application, let's create with automated, right? So let's demonstrate this. So let me apply this kubectl, apply applications -n ArgoCD. I'm deploying to ArgoCD namespace. Okay, sorry, -f I forgot. All right, so application has been created. Let's quickly check. Okay, so you can see if you have seen our previous videos, whenever we deployed with the manual options. So with that, what happened? So the application has to wait for the manual sync. Now you can see it's automatically synced. Correct. So let me show you one more thing. So let me cat application.yaml. You can see I'm referring a path called sample in my repository, right? So let me go to my repository Kubernetes and go to sample. Here you can see there is a resources available and I'm going to simply deployment, going to edit this change. So I'll say like a 5 pods. You can see there is only currently 3 pods are available. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna say it should be 5 now. Commit the changes. All right. So now if you see in the ArgoCD, it will be say this was not correct. So when we refreshed, it's automatically detected all 5. It scaled the deployment, right? So this is how the automated sync works. So next thing, so let's deploy another application. So which is nothing but automated pruning enabled. So let me show you how it's been enabled. So you can see it here. I have enabled this automatic pruning option, right? So let's me disable it for now. Okay, so I'm disabling it, and again this will be failed. So what I'm doing, I'm just enabling automated option. So like this, right? So now you can see this is done. So let me apply this prune option. It will be create another application. It will be creating a new application. Okay, so this application is ready. And you can see this is automatic pruning is enabled, but still it's coming up. Okay, so as it is, whatever we have, this is done, right? So let me do one thing. Let me take this file back. Okay, let me take a backup in my view. And I'm going to delete this file. Okay, so let's see what ArgoCD does now. So now we don't have deployment file. So when you come to your ArgoCD, so when you refresh, you can see this is an out of sync, and same time this is expecting a recursive pruning. So why this is recursive pruning? Because the file is no more exist on the GitHub repositories, right? You can see it here, desire manifest, nothing is there, but in live I'm seeing there is some file is available, right? So obviously ArgoCD thinks something is wrong and it's went out of sync. Okay, so when I do sync, let's see what happens. So it do the changes, but it's not do any kind of a pruning until you say to prune it, correct? So how you can do that? As we said, it can be done even in the UI also. You can just click this enable option. It will be start prune. Let's try it once. Okay, so I'm not going to do it in the CLI now, but desired state. You can see both is enabled. And now you can refresh it. And let me sync now, right? Okay, still it's not taking, even though because the application desired state is same still. So when I show prune, so it will be delete whatever the prune is required, right? Okay, so now let's do one more thing. So let me create again the same file. So deployment YAML. So let me show you the file also. Cat prune.yaml. Okay, this is referring again sample location. So are we in sample folder? Yes, right. Sample and deployment state. Now we have created. When you do refresh, it will automatically create the application. So as I enable this pruning by UI, I'm going to disable it. Let's do it only via desired way, right? Now it's disabled. And now you can see it now. So it's captured. Now what I'm going to do, so I'm going to open the file called prune.yaml. Prune.yaml. So I'm going to enable this feature now. Okay. Right. Now let's apply the changes. Okay, something wrong. It should not be here as I have made manual change. Right. So now I'm making a push and it's been done. Right. So let's refresh once and see the status. Now you can see both the options are enabled, right? So now what happens? You can see the pod is still exist, deployment and allow test, cron jobs are available. So what I'm going to do, again, I'm going to here and I'm going to delete this file again. So how it will be happen. So in case you are doing it in your application and you are deleting any kind of application, it will happen like this. You can see now. See, it started removing that parts as this deployment is no more exist, and it's removing the deployment parts. So now it's synced well, and we have just maintained whatever we had desired in the GitHub repositories. Okay, so let's quickly add it again. So I don't want this file to be lost. So I'm adding again, and I'm gonna sync this. Let's not do anything. Let's ArgoCD decides what to do. Okay, so now let's refresh again. It will create the deployment quickly. Right, so this is on pruning option. So we're going to see the next option is self field. Again, in the self field, what we are doing, as I said, it will be a manual change. So again, I'm going to disable this and I will show you what is happening. So you can see it here. I'm disabling it and I'm enabling only automatic. Right. So now this application will be created. The name will be self heal. So what this self heal does, let's check it. Okay, all right. So this is my new application created. Let's go to the application and see the self heal is available now. Self heal is available and it started provisioning already. Okay, so let me go to the app details and I'll see that where it's coming from. Again, the same repo. Again, there is a sample is folder, but this time there is a different namespace. The namespace is self-heal. Okay, so let me show you the what is available. Get call -n self-heal my namespace. So I'm gonna see what is available now. Okay, so I can see there is something is got created and this is a deployment. So currently it has 5, right? So okay, so this is 5. That is what we define. So let's do one more thing. So let's quickly kubectl scale deployment and replicas to, I'm gonna say 10. Okay, so self field is again the namespace, and I'm saying it has to be scaled 10, right? So let's quickly check here how many pods available now. Okay, well, so we have 10 pods running. So let's go to the ArgoCD and let's see what it says. It's telling there is 10 pods available now, but it's out of sync. Why? Because the desired set should be 5, as it should be 5, but it's telling how much? 10, right? So because this is the change, let's check it. Is there anything is notifying us? No, unfortunately, there is nothing. But we know these changes. But again, this is unexpected, right? See, some case you may need to extend. We agree that. But let's assume someone is doing manually without knowing. You are already following a GitHub's manner, and they are unexpectedly doing this, right? So any changes, like if you are scaling any resources, that should be approved by some certain architect or someone. So if you are not following that, it will be again your policy and your organization will be make issues. All right. So now how we can do that? So I'm going to deploy the same application. Okay. So let me see this. I'm going to change this option to like this. So selfies is enabled, and I'm going to do that change again. Play it. All right. So now we have applied. So now you can see it here. When I applied immediately, it's matched the GitHub and it started removing all the pods, right? So let's me quickly demonstrate again. So let's go to the scale and let me put, there is something called 20 parts. Okay, so let's double it. So now I'm doing, so immediately you can see in ArgoCD. So when you do refresh, you could see 20 parts are coming up, but same time it's getting terminated, right? So how you can check that? Let's quickly check on all the resources. Okay, so it's not shown again. So let me quickly run this again, the command, and let's quickly check all. And you can see quickly it's getting terminated because it's not a desired state. ArgoCD don't allow to follow the unexpected way as we enable self-heal option. So it's make sure what is in the JIT, it will be there. So let's assume someone is making any kind of changes and it's automatically scaled and you are not tracking, and it may consume a lot of resources, and that may lead to have to pay a lot of amount as we are deploying on the cluster like a cloud resources. There is completely unlimited things are given and we should not have to use it privileged, right? So we have seen this when we are speaking about in the costing option. So these all things will be helpful on the ArgoCD, correct? Okay. So we have seen both options, self-healing and pruning. So let me show you that again quickly. When we are creating application, that two options will be there. So I'm creating a new app. So you can see it here. Sync option is enabled manual, so there is no such option. But immediately when I do automatic, it shows prune resource and self-heal. So both we have seen and we have tried it. All three options has been tried. Right. So let's see that what are the other options are doing here and how it will be useful for us. Right. So jump in for that. Let's jump into the presentation mode. And in the presentation, we're going to see what are the other options. So we have seen the self-heal and demonstration options are seen. Next is the sync options. What are the sync options are available and how it should be need. So user, you can do how those can be synced between the target cluster and desired state, and most of the options are available on at application level, and also, right, and also you can do it not only in the application level, even in the manifest level you can define on the resource manifest. You can mention it. What is the resource management? We're gonna see it one by one. So in this section we're gonna see first option called no prune. No prune is nothing but, as the name is contains a value, if you want to just, in case you are saying like I have thousands of files, out of that 2 files I don't want to delete any time in my history. So what I mean anytime, as we see in prune option, it will delete once the file is removed from the JIT, right? So immediately if you think like, hey, let's not do that, certain files, let's have some exclusions. Maybe we need for some cases, right? We need it for some cases. So that case, how we can overcome that? So you can create a deployment with no the prune equal to false. So in that case, even if you delete the file in JIT, it won't get removed in the ArgoCD. So how it does, let's see that. Okay. So next option is available. So next is same way, like a disable the validation. So we've seen whatever the changes we are making via kubectl, right? So that is like we have scaled unexpectedly, correct? So sometimes even that needs some exceptions. So in that time, how you can do that? So you can just create application with validation false. This will be make sure none of the change related to particular application will be tracked, and you can just do the scaling or whatever you want. Okay. Or if you want to go for, I don't want application level, I want particular resource level, right? Particular resource, nothing but you can be to anything. So kind can be anything, and you have to create annotation sync option, and that should be says validation should not happen, correct? So this two is the options. available there. So we're going to demonstrate anyway. So we'll see first what are the available options. Okay. One is, as we seen, prune can be done with the application level sync option. But even though if we need any exceptions, you can use the prune, no prune equal to false in the particular application, particular resource manifest. Same way for the kubectl validation, self-healing will be helpful for us, but some case we need to avoid such a things. So in that case, you can add annotation. So that will be say validation false, or you can validate should be false on the sync option. You can add it on the application level. Okay. Next. So next option is selective sync. What is selective sync? So when you say like whenever we are enabling options on ArgoCD, so that will be automatically sync each and every resources. Okay, it doesn't mean if the application is needed or not. It doesn't see, it will be just keep check all the file and it's validated. But if here with the selective sync, what happens? It will help us to only check what all the resources are, or what all the resources are in only out of sync. Okay, so either it can be applicable on the, so this option is available only on application level, as we see in other options, like some options still option in resource level, but this only available on application level. Okay, so in that what you can do, so you can enable apply only automatic out of sync only true. So what happens when you enable this, it will check what all the resources are out of sync, only those resources will be synced, right? So this will be like a one another way it's best, because you may have like a thousands of application resources, and out of that only 2 file may be changed, or it may be in out of sync. In that case, you don't need to wait for complete repos to come run, right? It may be reduce our resource power, validate the long time we have to wait, those kind of things no need to do. So with this change, only the desired state changed file will be synced. So remaining will be stay live and it will be easy for us. Okay, so with that, it will be say selective sync. Next option is prune lost. So when we see prune, so always we have to do the prune, like we are pruning the resources if something is not needed. But if you want to have something called like a prune equal to lost, okay, so you can do it by the resource level or application level. If you want to do application level, prune lost will be true here. And next is like a, even in the particular resource, you can say, hey, deployment, you should go lost. Okay, so that particular resource will be removed at lost. Okay, next, replace resources. So replace resources nothing but, so when you are making any kind of a changes, in case you want to create and recreate the resources, let's assume like some caching options. Okay, so some application may do some caching and you want to restart, or whenever you're doing upgrade, so that may need to withdraw any kind of unexpected cookies or caches, right? So those kind of things, this option will be helpful. So what it does, so either it will be keep checking the application, and it will be completely replace it every time whenever you sync. So with that, what happens? Automatically the particular resource will be deleted and it will be recreated. Right? So how you can do that? Again, you can do it via application level, or you can do it via the resource level. So this is the option. You have to enable it only if you want to go for deployment, resource equal to 2, or complete application every resources. Then you have to go for the application layer. Okay. Next, interesting option, fail on the shared resources. What is fail on shared resources? The name itself is crazy. So nothing but, so let's assume like you have a namespace and already you have deployed certain application, and someone trying to do the same application deployment in the same namespace with a certain different name. So when you do that, by default, ArgoCD detects that kind of a changes. It will be display the warnings and says, hey, this is not expected, or there is a resource already available, still you are deploying this. Okay, but If you enable such options called fail on shared resource true on your application layer, so what happens? It will be keep check the sync and it will be keep on failing. Okay. So with that, what happens? You can make sure there is no same resources deployed multiple time on same namespace. So you can either you can move to different namespace. You have to rethink, should I deploy that here, correct? So these all the options are available on the sync side. So with that, what we can do. So one another options, let's demonstrate here. So this demonstration will help you to check how you can do the sync for your applications and also how this will be helpful. Okay. So we have put this all the changes already in the GitHub. So you can check our repository here. So you can check our repository here. For that, you have to go Kubernetes, ArgoCD, and then you can see there is a folder called sync options, and there is a multiple scenarios we have captured with multiple options. We will be pushing the application files also shortly after this video. So with that, even you can create application with your name or something, whatever we shown you here in this demo. You can try the same with us. You can run this video and you can follow the options. Hope that may help you to give the hands-on experience on how to do that. Okay. So let me log in quickly. Okay. So my instance are ready. I'm going to create one other application. Right. So let's do first no prune. So we're going to see there are the options. So here is a no prune. So with the no prune, let's see the what is the options available. So I'm showing you the application name. Okay, so here you can see the prune has been true, but what I did, so if you open my deployment, I have said even there is a prune is yes, but this should not be deleted at any case. Okay, so let's see that how it's going to take that. So for that, kubectl apply -f, so application -m cd. Right. So the application is ready, and now we're gonna see it shortly here. Right. So now Prune has been created here, and let's quickly check the options, whatever it's done. So the application is created, everything is ready, and let's see this. All right. So we have everything created. Okay. So now there is no deployment available. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, no prone option. So I'm going to create the deployment option. So this is the deployment file, and this is how it will be look like. And I'm going to commit. You can see the prone equal to false is enabled here, correct? So before that, this application should be on ArgoCD. So I'm going to refresh. As automatic sync is enabled, it's going to create the resource. Well, so you can see this is available now, right? So prone is disabled, right? So I'm going to delete this file at the same time. So this should be deployment YAML and prone equal to false. Okay. So I'm just committing the changes. All right. So now if you check the application here, it will be in out of sync. As we seen, the prone is already enabled, correct? Prone resource is already enabled, even though we are seeing this requires pruning. But you can see this again, out of sync requires pruning, but this file is already in the pruning equal to false. Desired state will be empty because the file is no more exist. Still this file will be received. So when this will be useful, sometimes you may need to just keep the resource for some long time, and that should not be tracked anymore in the JIT. So you can keep it and delete it. And some, if you say whenever you don't need, you can come and delete it. Okay. So that time you can say, or what you can do quickly, whenever you are keeping a sync, and you can say prune. So you can say again, so even with this, it won't be deleted. So you can just have to do only via delete option. Manually, you have to delete it. Okay. So this is maybe you may require, you have to find a way where we can use it, but this is how it will be there. Okay. So what I'm going to do again, so I'm going to create this file again and make sure that file is exist. So for your file, for your practice, and I'm going to commit it now because I didn't give the name. Deployment. I'm committing it. So if I do so, this will be show sync synced, and this is well, right? So hope this is easy for you guys. So next, let's check replace option. So we are in 3D replace. So with the replace, again, I will show you these options, application we are creating, and without replace equal to true. Okay. So these are the options available at the same time. So let's check in the deployment once. Here it's given as a true. Okay. So whole application level also we can mention, or we can mention resource level. That's what we see. So here we are going to create the application this here only with resource level. Okay. So let's see that how it will be look like. So now you can see the resource level is created. And what I'm going to do, so whenever I'm doing a refresh or sorry sync, now as there is nothing on the resource level, so let me quickly show you one more thing. Okay, so as you can see it here, so this is tracked every details here. Let's see in the deployment, that should show the replace option true. Okay, so you can see this is replaced equal to true. And now let's do the sync. I'm going to sync it. So you can see this, and service was not done anything, but you can see this got replaced. You may see that. Right, so this is what it's happened. Let's enable it on the all the application level. Sorry, not yours. Application replace equal to true, and apply and applied, right? So now let's refresh once, and you can see that whenever you're going to sync, and it's going to show you the warning, the resource will be sync using kubectl or create command. There will be potentially this schedule. So you are getting a warning. So with that warning, what is going to happen? So it will ask you again confirmation. So now this resource will be recreated. Okay, so this is how the replace option will work. Some case if you are doing a large deployment, so it will be completely replaced. Okay, so you can see it again the status here, what is happened. So it is enabled and progressing and synced, every changes has been done. All right, so this is on replace, and let's see the next option. So what is we have next? So let's say like a selective sync. So again, the application YAML, let's see that what is available. So you can see only, sorry, there is some failed resource. Let's see that first selective sync, then we'll see that. So here, only apply out of sync option. So don't apply anything on that. So whenever there is a change, only apply to that It's available only on the application level. So we're going to create this kubectl apply application ArgoCD. Right, so this application is ready now. You can see the selective sync is enabled, and now you can see it here. So whenever we refresh our sync, so let me quickly show you that it will be syncing all the resources, right? So if you can click here, it succeeded. And now details, you can see the desired status, everything is healthy. Okay, so as we enabled only out of sync option, so let's do one thing. So let's go to the option selective sync. In the deployment, I'm going to edit this to 7. Commit the changes. So here it will be refreshed. So now you can see only endpoints got updated. Obviously, endpoint is needed. So we have seen part creation and deletion, and the resource has been scaled with certain numbers. So now if you see the options here, and the events, so 21 again, only out of sync has been updated, right? So let's check that. All right, so this is done with the changes, right? So yeah, so now you can see only selected syncs which is unhealthy, it has been updated. Okay, so it won't touch anything on service level, so it make any changes you are suggesting only on the desired applications. You can see the changes reflects like this. Okay, so next option, fail on resource. So what I'm going to do now, so selective, I'm going to do that. Let's create the application with a fail on resource. So what is fail on resource? It will be just create, it will make sure there is no duplicate application has to be deployed on same resource with the same name. So let's see that. You can see there is a set resources, and you can see there is a warning which says the already it's available with the replace the same namespace. What I did here, so if you see my application, so this is like a failed on resource, and I have used replace as a namespace as we already used this part of the same demo, and we have used this path, and now along with that I have created same application on same namespace, right? So when I do that, as there is a files inside this repo and this is a folder, same folder. So already these two files are exist. So what it's telling, this is been already part of this shared resource. So the sync will be keep on happening. It won't fail, succeeded. You can see it tries for multiple times. It's never going to end it, or 5 to 10 times it tries, then it will be out of sync. So even though if you try to sync, it will be stay on the same way as it's going to keep on try to sync automatically. Okay, so these are the sync options available here. So you can pick whatever you want, and you can practice yourself, and you can test it yourself however you want. All right, so hope this video is helpful, guys. So just keep practice on ArgoCD. This is going to be a massive on coming days. So hope this is helpful for gaining a knowledge on GitOps, how you can manage everything from a GitOps. So Kubernetes is hosting, and other way like ArgoCD will be coming up, or this knowledge may be helpful for you to gain on any kind of tools comes in the future. So at this moment, we are mostly speaking about ArgoCD. There is a competitor called FlexCD, but in future, either they may grow very robust, or there will be some alternate tools comes in place, but the concept will be sustained the same. So everything will be managed only on the JIT, and everything we have to maintain well on the clusters. Okay, right. So hope this is helpful. Please, if you like, please like and share it. And if you have any feedback or any suggestions, please feel free to share with us. So that will be helpful for lot to us, and that will also helpful for us to give more best contents. Okay, so we are already publishing certain key things like some shortcuts or some random comments on the Instagram. So you can just check that our Instagram page. So Instagram FoxuTech. Okay, so we are already giving such a photos. Okay, so you can just, if you like, you can follow us. So we will be keep sharing like such shortcuts for you, and you can use it as any kind of easy manual for you. So this will have how, if in case something got stuck, what are the commands you can use, and about the SSL or something TLS, and if you want to switch the namespace, you can use this option, and how you can switch the namespaces, and how to fix any kind of such error comes, and how you can fix it. So it will be look like a meme for you, but it will be so useful in case you're stuck, or that will help you to gain such knowledge on the technologies. Any technologies, we will find something interested and something can be shared. Obviously, we're gonna share it such a easy way. So as pictorially, everything will be easy and important for us. So that will be help us to remember easily, right? Also follow us, our website, FoxuTech. So we have n number of articles published. So last 4 to 5 years. And if you are still using certain some older kind of tools, you can refer it here and you can gain the knowledges. So you can take this section. We have segregated very well, and we have covered all the interesting topics on current market. Okay, thank you guys. Thanks for your time. Please keep learning. Cheers. Bye bye. Take care.